Lamar Jackson not smiling much lately as he waits for someone to pursue him other than the Baltimore Ravens. When Bill Belichick was asked about Lamar Jackson earlier in the week, Belichick refused to talk about him because he said, I don't talk about anybody who's on another team. The reality is Lamar Jackson's on no team right now. He's got no contract. Bill Belichick's allowed to talk about him. He's always had this weird thing about franchise tag players. He thinks the rules are different than what they are. He's a guy who stays so far away from that line. We talked about that earlier in the week. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So we didn't know whether or not the Patriots were interested in Jackson. We knew Jackson was interested in the Patriots because the owner, Robert Kraft, said Meek Mill texted him or called him to say that Lamar Jackson had texted Meek Mill to say, I want to play for the Patriots. Jeff Howe of The Athletic reports that the Patriots are not interested in Lamar Jackson. And even though Jackson is dramatically better than Mac Jones, I can understand why they don't want to make the significant draft pick investment. Kraft the other day talking about how important it is to have those draft picks, low cost, develop those players. The Browns gave up a lot to get Deshaun Watson. You have to give up a lot to get Lamar Jackson from the Ravens. You don't want to make the draft pick investment. You don't want to pay all that money to the player. I get it, even though Jackson clearly is better than their current best quarterback, Mac Jones.
Yeah, yes, he is. We know that. But, also they drafted Mac Jones. You're saying the right things. They drafted him. They're trying to formulate their offense and their team around that. Billy O'Brien's system is Mac Jones fit, right? And then, the basic level is like we joked about it yesterday. Hey, we'll trade you 2 or 3 first-rounders and give you the greatest contract in the history of sports or football. Does that sound like a New England Bill Belichick thing? Absolutely not. I mean, he's the opposite of that. Like we talked about, he wouldn't even pay Tom Brady what he was worth, right? I mean, he put the hot poker to his butt and made him make decisions all the time. So that's where I never thought it was real, at least, Mike.
But is it possible Belichick is the one guy who could sit down across the table from Lamar Jackson and get Jackson to see it his way and agree to the Patriot way? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. Unless you trade for him, if you just get him to sit down and say, here's how we do things and sign this offer sheet, and he signs it, and then the Ravens match it, it doesn't matter.
No.
The only way that would work is if it was a trade. But again, they're not interested, so it really doesn't matter. The Patriots aren't going to pursue him. Right now, the Colts are the only team out there that's even remotely interested, and I don't know whether or not that's real. I think that if we're going to see any interest in Lamar Jackson, it's going to come after the draft. If there's a team out there lurking for a quarterback and they don't get him, and we don't even know that they're lurking for a quarterback, then maybe they would pivot to Lamar Jackson if they don't get the quarterback that they're secretly trying to get in round one.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I could see that. Ultimately, if you're going to make me bet money, I'm still going to bet he's going to be the quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens. I don't see another team coming up here, but I think your thought there is definitely fair or logical for sure.
Well, he'll be the quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens if they work out a deal
Yeah.
to make him the quarterback of the Ravens, whether it's before July 17 on a multi-year deal or after July 17 on a one-year deal where the Ravens could just say, hey, under the CBA, all we have to offer you is $32.4 million. You play for that or you don't play. That's probably not going to be enough, in my estimation, to get him to show up. And they're going to have to sweeten it. And the question is, how much does he want it to be sweetened? How much will they sweeten it? And do they reach a deal? They've been unable to reach a deal on a long-term contract. Can they reach a deal on a one-year arrangement? That remains to be seen. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.